Welcome back. Records are meant to be broken, but usually it's seasoned veterans who break them. But for our Athlete of the Week, we introduce you to a freshman who's putting Turner on the map.
She's hardworking and that she has a lot of dedication and she has a great work ethic. And what I ask of her, she does. And it's fun to coach a kid that has those characteristics.
Turner freshman Ella Billmayer is already performing beyond her years. Case in point, this distance runner has broken 2 school distance records that were almost twice as old as Ella. But this tornado didn't always know distance was her thing.
7th grade actually is when I started. I didn't start the year out running distance. I started running sprinting and stuff like that, and then I just picked it up on one of the track days when my coach was like, hey, you should go run that, because there were only a couple girls in it. So I did, and I got a pretty good time, and I stuck with it, and I actually 7th and 8th grade year I never lost in the mile. I always took first place.
Now for Ella's coach, who's been with the Tornadoes for 27 years, she's seen plenty of talent go through their program, but she says she knew Ella could be coachable and a successful athlete.
She has a lot of heart and drive, and Ella doesn't like to lose, and so she tries to make herself better. And you know, it just doesn't start at school. She's involved in the community and in her church. So you know, I knew she was a special kid, because when you get these type of kids that come from a farming community that believes in her family, believes in her church, and believes in the school and wanting to put her school on the map, that's the kind of kid you want to coach.
And it's no surprise Ella has this season's goals well laid out. Ella now owns the 2 and 1 mile record, but the 800 is 2 minutes 32 seconds, and Ella's PR 2 minutes 46 seconds. So there's work to be done and meets for which to qualify, but Ella's got a steady plan for how to achieve her goals.
Well, every practice, you have to work harder, obviously, and you have to tell yourself, I got to get through today to go to tomorrow and make that a better day. So you just got to keep telling yourself that you can do it, and if you continue on, you can be successful.
Keeping it in that distance mode, we'll say at 5:30 we introduced you to a runner who ran a different type of race where there was no finish line. Now you can see why one man decided to push his limits to the max.
It works like this. 34 races in 32 different countries kicked off at the exact same time. In Denver, that meant a 4 a.m. start. Then, 30 minutes later, a catcher car begins to chase down the field. When the car passes you, your race is over. EJ's sister and mother also participated in the race. Mom was caught first, then sister Kasia after 12 miles. But it would be almost 3.5 hours before EJ was caught. The third to last runner left.
What was your reaction when you finally saw that car coming up behind you?
I was so happy. I remember there was a rest stop not too far from where I finished where the guy was like, "You're not even breathing hard." I was like, "Yeah, I know, because I'm so ready to be done. You have no idea."
It's amazing he got that far, considering 13 days earlier he ran a sub-3 hour Boston Marathon. There's only one reason why he did it again less than 2 weeks later. The Wings for Life run benefits spinal cord research, an issue that hits very close to home after a bicycle accident left him almost paralyzed 5 years ago.
That's really the only reason I did it, being as close as it was to Boston. If it didn't do it for spinal research, I wouldn't have done the race. With the crash that I had a few years ago, I could be in a spot a lot worse than I am. So to be able to do a race for that cause is pretty special.
Over 35,000 people participated in the run around the world. Only 75 of them ran farther than EJ. That gives him something to shoot for next year. The only question is, where will he do it?
I think it would be really cool, because it is all around the world, to maybe start picking off destinations. Maybe next year do the East Coast version, after that do West Coast version, and then maybe find a different country to do it in.
At this rate, he'd check them all off by 55. Not a problem for this endurance king. Casey Conlon.
That's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
You're watching KRTV. Fair, accurate, to the point.